All right. Welcome to Sandbar Sofa Surfers. Today we're going to go over the HolyStone F181W. Alright, today we're going to go over the HolyStone F181W. They actually sent me this drone so that I could test it for them. I'm really excited, so let's get this thing open. This is the drone. I've got 4 batteries for us today to try this out. I've got a brand new memory card inside of this drone here. There's a memory card slot. We're right there on the side of this camera here, which I believe is a 1080 1920, and it is adjustable. We do have a little bit of a adjustment on that. You see that? That is nice. So let's get a battery in this. I'm just going to throw these extra batteries we've got on the table. I'm going to throw this battery in here. And you want to get that in there until it clicks. And it'll click, everything will be stabilized. And we're going to turn it on. We're looking good here. We've got blue lights located in the front of the vessel and red lights in the back. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here with it. We're going to get the remote out. We're going to power the remote on. Let's power this thing on. And then we're going to hit up and down. And we're going to pair it. Now, according to the instruction manual, we're only going to be good for about 100 to 150 feet of flying. That includes your height and your distance together. So let's take a look at this instruction manual here. Let's see here. Take a look at this instruction manual. Always start from the beginning. We got to maintain a line of sight. This drone does fall under the FAA regulations. Okay, we've got our drone powered on. We've got it paired. Now let's make sure that we've got everything going along the way that we should here, because all drones are a little different with the controllers that I've noticed. I have down and pairing. All right, we're going to calibrate the gyro, and it looks like we're going to go down to 7 o'clock on both of them. They're both going to go down to the lower left, so let's see what happens when we do that. We heard a beep there. Once the transmitter beeps once, the gyroscope calibration is completed. Powered on. We've got this powered on, and we are going to go up and down, and we should be paired. And now we're going to calibrate the gyro. We're going to take both our controller sticks and we're going to go over to the left till we hear one beep. All right, here. Let's see. I think we have around 150 feet that we can fly. That's going to include both height and distance. I think we're looking good. We do have a speed throttle here. That's speed 2. That's speed 3. And that is speed 4. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start speed 1 because everything's kind of slower, and if you're going to get a drone for camera or video, you really want it to be slower because you want more cinematic footage. So let's see here. Are we ready to fly yet? Not yet, huh? Still pairing a little bit here. All right. think we have a little something going on here. Looks like I got a trim issue here, I think on the right. Well, that's supposed to be the flip function there. It's kind of one of my first observations. It's really difficult if you don't have the phone paired up as with the app to see if your camera's working or not. It gives a button like a double sound, but it has no sound if it's one or two or one or the other. So let's go ahead and hook the phone up to it and see how the app is. Boy, it is hot out here today. Okay, so we're going to put the phone on this. We're going to try it with the app. I honestly don't like using the app for especially these little smaller drones, because it's supposed to, you're supposed to fly. You're supposed to maintain your line of sight. So on the remote, there is a insert slot here. And this thing actually has a little turn to it, I want to say, yeah. And then we can get our phone in here. You want to watch out for your power buttons and your, whoops, go ahead and put the phone in here first. Alright, so get the phone in there, insert this into your slot. It's got a tighten nozzle right here so you can tighten that up where you want it at. And let's go ahead and get this app going. I'm going to turn over here for shade purposes. Okay, so we got our controller here, and we're going to go into the app. The app is going to be Deer C FPV. We're going to hit that. We're going to launch that. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to take this out and switch this around. Make sure everything looks good there. And a couple of things before we start. We want to make sure that we have our Wi-Fi turned on. We've got our Wi-Fi turned on. Also, we want to have that airplane mode turned on, and you always want to have your location. You want to be able to find your device. You want that on, and you also want to be on location on. Alright, we should have everything good to go now for the app. We are launching the app now, and let's see what happens here. We're going to start, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. and we got that paired. Got that synced up. And you might want to go back and check your Wi-Fi. Yeah, see, sometimes my Wi-Fi just turns back off. And we are going to look for the HolyStone FPV. And we're going to connect to that. And there we are. Let's see. Hello. All right. Let's go for a fly. We're going to increase the speed. This is speed 1. That's really slow. Here's speed 2. Speed 3. Oh yeah. And speed 4. Oh yeah, we got a little book on too. Oh yeah. Like it's got good handling, especially in Q4. If you've had a little experience, you might want to get out there. It obviously has some type of switch. When you grab it, I just had it hovering. I was going to adjust the camera on it, and it shut off on me. So that's a nice little safety feature there. I'm rotating the camera down now, and we're going to take it back up and check and see how this is. Okay, we're going to do a battery swap, and we're going to get this thing back in the air. We're going to go ahead and rotate the camera, and we're going to fly this thing complete until the battery is dead. I don't recommend flying this if you have to use GPS as a crutch. There's a slight breeze out here today. If I had an anemometer, I could tell us exactly how fast the breeze is, but it is coming from the east, the southeast, so I am noticing a lot more power needing to go in for the drone. So when you're playing in the wind, I kind of always go nose forward into the wind or where I'm shooting towards, and then I find that offset, and then I allow the drone to kind of dance in that wind, and I try to always keep myself at that very backmost distance, and I allow the drone to go forward because I know the only place for that drone to go based on wind is back towards me. So let's go ahead and throw that up there. Let's go ahead and turn our remote on. We're going to go ahead and sync it, and we're going to calibrate the gyro. We're going to launch the app. Looks like we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start recording. on the app, it's not showing me recording here. We're going to try to just go directly on the screen. So I guess if you have this little hiccup, we're going to be directly recording to my memory card that's on the phone via the Wi-Fi signal. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Still working a little bit, huh? Okay, so the button on the controller is not impacting anything on the app as I'm going through it. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off there. This is the control via the app, but I really don't like controlling it through the app. Okay, so that's not working. We're gonna power this off and see if it's just a just kind of like a rebooting issue here. So let's go ahead and turn that controller off. We're gonna turn off the drone. We'll let the drone sit there for a second. We're gonna pick this back up here. I'm gonna go ahead and back out of the app. Remember, if you have any questions, let's go directly back to the instruction manual. Now, the more drones that you fly, you're going to get a little bit more experience, and a lot of the controls and the information is going to be relatively the same. All right, so I think that's been about enough time. So we're going to power this thing back on. We're going to turn our controller on. Got it paired. We're calibrating the gyro, which is successful after one beep. We're going to launch the app. Let's see if that has something to do with it now. Okay, we are powered up with the app. I'm going to now hit record on the controller. And with those two beeps, that's supposed to be that we're recording. It shows me now recording to the app, so now everything is well synced together. Now we're just going to take off. I can go ahead and hit that button on the far left, like the D-pad from your Sony controller. Just tap that, and then we're going to just go up, and we're going to fly it.
Once more I was alone, totally alone. And in that brief instant, I learned the meaning of the word hate. Yes, hate. And in that moment, my greatest betrayal. It was upon you that I swore vengeance. You are the cause of all my pain and grief, of all my loneliness. At last, I found you. And now...
Okay, I really don't like the remote, this this feature here where you can have the phone in, it can kind of like fall off. You don't want that to happen. If there was something that could secure that in place, but I'm sure this is a earlier version and I've seen some progress made with the remotes thus far. If there was some way that this remote could actually interface with the user in some way, and I don't mean by like a digital to screen, but something as simple as us knowing when we're capturing video and when we're capturing photography, when we're getting pictures. I had one little crash here, and the camera came off of here. So if there was maybe a little better way to secure this, and I kind of flew it like a kid would. So if there's a better way to secure that, that would be ideal. One of the legs has an issue, and that's probably just in manufacturing, and it was on both sets and it was just in this one hole, so I'm sure that it was just maybe this specific unit, because I do have another one and I don't have an issue with this on the other unit. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to take this camera and I'm going to try to grab some footage of this thing moving around. So in review, after spending a nice part of the day, after spending a good nice part of the day with the HolyStone F181W, I honestly didn't like the functionality of the remote. I mean, you know, of course your left and your right, your ascension, your descension, you know, all those things are rolling good. It's just the way that the remote interfaces with the pilot or the user. I wish that there was something that kind of let the user know when you were actually recording video and when that video was actually being recorded, outside of, you know, using the app. And I wish there was a way for the pictures to be known to the operator if you successfully took a photograph. And this really needs some work here, because this thing just drops phones left and right. So whenever I use these non-GPS enabled drones, I never connect a phone to them, and I never connect with Wi-Fi, because they're meant to just be flown like a visual line of sight. You look at it, you watch it. It's like flying a kite. It's almost like taking your dog for a walk. And when you're flying a drone, you want to keep your drone on a short leash, because that's a dog that you want to keep and protect. You don't want to let that thing go running off and then you never find them again. So I think this drone is good for the home. Its max distance that I had flying around here was right around like 60 feet, 70 feet. I am around a lot of stuff here. But, you know, with 100-foot maximum distance flying, that includes your height, your altitude, and your distance that you're traveling linearly, you know, that's not a whole lot of room. So you have to really think about what the application for this drone is going to be. To me, it's going to be for someone to use for their pool party, for the kids to fly around the house, fly around the yard, you know, take pictures of your own house, because you're really not going to be able to get any distances out and above that. I wouldn't take it to the beach. I definitely wouldn't take it over water. You can really feel the wind in it. But if you want to practice becoming a good pilot, this is a good drone to do that with, and you can really feel the wind, and you can kind of learn what way that you're going to need to position and how you're going to need to use your remote in order to fly the way that you want to go. So, do I like it? It's all right. It's good. It's a nice beginner drone. Nice beginner drone. All right. Thanks for watching Sandbar Surfers. I really wanted to add this footage in because it also felt like it was a really good drone to take to the neighborhood basketball court. If you play basketball, any type of outdoor athletics on a short court or a short field, if that makes sense. Baseball may even be too much for this drone. This neighborhood basketball court in this little playground was about the perfect area to use and utilize this drone. I actually took this drone out a few different days, and I had some excellent footage, or what I thought was excellent footage, of people playing basketball. But unfortunately, I ran into the issue I was talking about of not knowing if the video was playing or not. So that footage didn't turn out on this drone. It did turn out on my HolyStone F181W, which is my favorite drone right now. I really like that little drone. It falls under the FAA regulations, and it's a beautiful drone for me. Now, this is a nice little drone, don't get me wrong. I just didn't like the video footage. As you can see right here, it really needs some video stabilization, and I think it's the way that the camera is actually affixed or positioned through that engineering or design process to the drone itself. If there was some way to dampen it, some way to make that camera more secure, I think it would take or alleviate some of these issues of this wavy type footage. Now, this gentleman here, he came over and he started talking to me about the drone, asking me if this was a good drone to buy, and I was like, yeah, this is a really nice drone. And then I referred him to the Amazon page, because there, I want to say it's the HolyStone 210. Not real firm on that, but HolyStone has a small mini drone, and to me, it's not a mini drone. I think it's around like a 4 to 5 inch, no camera, but to me, it's strong and powerful enough that I think that you could make it FPV. It doesn't have the range, but it's just, to start out, I really think it's a good drone. So that's, I'm talking to the gentleman about, going to Amazon and finding this drone, and I think it was $23.99. This drone, the HolyStone that I'm flying right now, I want to say is going on Amazon for $70 to $80 right now, and it does come in a beautiful kit. It comes with a carrying case, which is beautiful. If you've had drones and you don't have a case to put them in, it can get a little awkward when you're trying to carry those around. What you really want to be able to do is protect your drone when you're not using it, protect that camera, protect the batteries. The package that it came in, and for the amount of money that is being charged, it really is a good product. I just didn't like this waviness to the video footage. Now, of course, the pictures aren't going to have this kind of stabilization issue, because you're going to be taking those shots. Now, this is a 720p 1920 1080, and it really does a good job. I liked it, but I didn't like the drone. I just really love my HolyStone F181W, and I'm ready to move up to the 720 with the electric image stabilization. I think that's going to be my next drone. Thanks for watching.